Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special session that I do whenever I have a lot of donations and I don't complete as many of the free readings as I like to have done. I come back on and complete them out. So that's what this is. That's why there's no chat. I'm not taking new questions for this session, but I shall be back in about an hour. No, 2 hours, it's almost 4, so 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So in 2 hours, I'll be back for my evening session, so you can join me then. I'll be putting out, like, a little blurb, or it's like a reservation. It's like it announces when I'm going live, and, you can jump into the chat early and put your questions there too. So I shall return. But so I'm gonna jump in and, uh, where we left off. Let me get this where I can see it better here. Marie Jones was where I left off. So, Marie, you are up first. So, and I am using this new deck that was gifted to me. So, Julia, thank you so much, my Praying Mantis members. It's the beautiful Dream Raven Tarot by Beth Saitonen, I think. And beautiful deck. So, this is the backs of them here. All right, so let's get started. So, Marie, you're starting a job. Congratulations. Next Tuesday. Let me move this up here. Maybe you can hear me a little better. And will you be successful and happy there? Let's take a look and see. What does Spirit want you to know? All right. All right. Well, it appears to be here that you will be happy and successful. First of all, you got the happy. With the Knight of Cups, there's this emotional movement, and you have the Page of Cups. So we can even see it's heightened happiness, it's movement of emotion. So that is a positive indication there. Of course, emotions are always our choice. So whether we're happy or there depends upon if we're happy on the inside. And I feel like with this Page of Cups, you've been really working on your self-love and who you are. And so you're looking at situations differently as well. And as far as success, you've got the King of Pentacles, very successful. The king is the ruler over the pentacles, which represents great amount of abundance. And the combination of these cards together just shows, you are the one um, that determines what success means. You're the one that determines what happiness is too. So there is this evolution I feel like you've been going through about how you determine your worth, because a big thing the King of Pentacles learns is their relation of their worth to the outside world. And the change and the adjustment of that by being defined by the retail price of the outside world. That's what we're worth to them. To the inward and upward worth, that's priceless, rooted in the unconditional eternal love of up above. So it's that combination of that self-love, and your worth is found based on that self-love connected to that beautiful love from above, that allows you to see things differently, allows you to have so much gratitude, which actually, it's like when I was in corporate life, I would try to exceed and try to do so much to get the bonuses, the raises, the promotions, the jobs, whatever it was. And the more I tried and the harder I tried, the more I got meets level. And then when I just went, you know what? I'm just going to go in and enjoy the job and do what it is, I'd get promotions and raises for doing half of what I did before, which didn't make sense at the time. But as I learned about where we invest our energy, the more I was grateful for what was instead of striving for all this stuff to define myself by. It came naturally and it was just a benefit. Whereas the other, I was trying to define myself by how well I did. When I stopped defining myself by it, loved who I was and enjoyed the job, stuff just was practically given to me. So that's what I feel the message is for you right now, Marie. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Soul Searching Vibe. Hello, hello. And you want to know Aquarius's thoughts and next actions towards you. All right. So there is their thoughts and what are their next actions. So, well, their thoughts here, there's a lot of attraction. The 8 of Wands is a lot of energy. It's a lot of movement of energy. So the passion is flowing with them here. So we definitely have that here. And you would think being an Aquarius, there's thoughts going on. But right now it feels like there's passion that's been ignited and the thinking has kind of okay, I see, has taken a kind of a back seat, but their next actions are being delayed. So there is thinking going on, but I don't think it's thinking. The King of Wands with this 8 of Wands, they've got all this passion, but the King is very, um, we'll say they're not like a prince who is, has their hormones going crazy. The King of Wands, the king is seasoned. They know how to control their attractions and their drawing towards things. And the Devil card here shows where all their mind is invested. The Devil card, Saturn, Capricorn energy, which is a lot of thinking, a lot of reflection, a lot of shaking of the stories, of the thoughts, and the beliefs and the mindsets that we've got poured into our head all our lives. And it just feels like they're really caught up into this deep dissecting and thinking of their entire scope of their life and what they feel they're supposed to and should do and need to and have to, and all this stuff. They're really challenging it, which is very Aquarian. I'm Aquarius, rebel nature. I hate being told what to do. Well, they're dissecting a lot of these fears they've had of the supposed to and the should and the need to, and they're caught up in a lot of that thinking. They've got all this passion, this draw, but they're really caught up here trying to release things of how they thought things were supposed to be and be developed and all that kind of stuff. So that's what's coming in for you right now, soul searching vibe. They're kind of in their mental searching vibe and questioning these thoughts, these ways of doing things that no longer serve. So their next actions just feel kind of in this pause mode. They're taking their time. They're able to control these, urges they have inside, but they're figuring things out up here. So as of right now, I don't feel there's a whole lot of next action because they're trying to get their whole entire world, the puzzle figured out right now. And that's where they're at. So yay! But that's what's going on right now. Soul searching vibe. Hang in there. When everything's are going slow, it's always for us to do the same thing, to turn inward and upward and really question these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, these emotions that no longer serve, to raise our love vibration. So it just kind of feels like there's this pause that's happening. The slowness is to giving you time to kind of do a little bit of the same, but not so much in the head. I feel like there's heart stuff that can be let go to. So that is what's coming in right now for you. And then up next, we've got Goldie. Hello, hello. How will your future husband be? Your future spouse, sorry. All right. Well, we like this here. You got the King of Cups and the Moon. So possibly a water sign that's coming in here because you got the King who rules over the cups, and then you also have the Moon, um, which is very much it's like Pisces energy, but it can be Cancer or Scorpio too. But with the King of Cups, especially being here, a lot of water, water, water. So it's great that they can express their emotions and feel their emotions. But all the kings are given a second portion of air, which is good because it balances out this heart and this head so that they can not just be caught up in their emotions or not just be caught up in their head, but there's a nice beautiful balance that comes in between the two. So I like that for you because I feel like you're a balanced individual that needs intellectual stimulation as well as share your emotions. It's like not to diss engineers, but engineering. A lot of engineers have this analytical mind that they forget they have emotions. Very air signy, but then there can be someone who's so emotionally all over the place that it makes it difficult to maintain a healthy relationship. A good balance between the two, I feel, is what is coming in. So that's what they have for you. A little bit of a hint. I do feel like it's like they're a water sign because they're ruled by, um, this water feeling, but like their CEO, because that's what a sun sign is our CEO. They're the one that rules over everything, but all the different areas of our life have little department heads, and I feel like they've got um, air signy stuff in there, like maybe an air sign moon that helps balance their emotion. But they've got all this emotion that rules their over their life, but they've got so much balance in there. Maybe some good earth energy too. It just feels very, very balanced. So that's what's coming in, Goldie. So many blessings to you. And then on Nusri, you are up next, and you want to know for the October month, what do they have here for you? All right. Wow, three major arcana. So you do have a lot going on here. The Sun card came out first, so we like that. There is this victory. There is a very big, bright light shining on in your life here. And here it is, the Tower. And I'm just kidding. So it's very positive things that unfold here in October. The High Priestess is about connecting upward, behind the scenes, below the surface, behind the veil. And the Sun card can also be Leo energy diving down into your child self. And the Tower card is this. I feel like what you're looking at here is tower events. I don't feel like tower events happen in October because tower events are the tower burns down, right? Things that are removed out of your life for you, and I feel like this has happened, and I feel like what you're really realizing here and kind of processing in the month of October is why this stuff happened. Because the tower does tell us that things are removed out of your life for you to make space for what is coming next into your life, to clear away the pathway, to clear away obstacles, so that you can move forward into something more in alignment with your higher self and your higher heart. So I feel like that has kind of already happened this year. Couple few couple a couple of few a couple or a few different events, significant events of things being moved out of your life, either people or situations or jobs, whatever it may be, that have cleared away things, and now you're realizing the why, because it's like if you come home and all the furniture has been moved out of the living room, and you're like, what did you guys do with my furniture?" And they're like, "Just wait for it." And you're like, "Why is there no furniture in my living room? Where did it go?" And they're like, "Wait for it." And you're like, "Where's it at?" And you hear honk honk, and here comes the furniture company backing up, and here's new furniture coming in. You're like, "Oh, so the old had to get moved away for this new delivery. I get it." And you're at the point where the new delivery is coming in, and now you're going, "Ah, now I understand." And I feel like there's this big ahas that are happening, and you're understanding why those things were moved out of your life. So it's very aha top of October. So I like it for you. So many blessings. That's what they have right now for you, Anusri. And then Pinky, hello, hello. Who is madly in love with you? Let's take a look here. All right. Wow. Well, you have this tower here, and I feel like this is to let you know that there's people that are being moved out of your life, to reveal, or not people, but a situation or um, circumstance, something. It's not a person; it's a situation, like job, education. It's something that gets moved out of your life to make space for this. And you do have, I like this individual that's coming in here because you've got the Ace of Wands, which is new passion. So it is someone new, definitely no one you know yet who's madly in love with you. So they're not madly in love with you yet, but they're on their way because you have the 10 of Pentacles, which is it's like your soulmate because it's the parents and the children, and the dog and the ancestry, and it's usually has all of that on the card, and castle and money, the fullness of the outside world. And the Knight of Swords, I just feel like this knight, this noble coming in, when with it being swords, it's someone who has a different way of thinking, but I also feel like they're air signy, so they do have this, and it's a youthful type of mentality too. Well, not necessarily that they're youthful in the outside world, but I feel like definitely in mindset and how they approach things and look at things, definitely is there. And it just feels like someone who rides in, um, and I feel like the Knight of Swords is one of the faster knights. The Knight of Wands is the horse on fire, so it's very fast, but the mind moves in usually the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords kind of neck and neck, so they're faster. It's not Knight of Pentacles, that's the slowest. So I feel like when they come in, it's really the communication comes fast, and I feel like just things happen. It just clicks, 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 and things move very fast when you do meet them. So I feel like it's soon. I feel like it's October coming in here. So uh, buckle up, Buttercup. Here they are arriving, and they'll be madly in love with you in a positive way. But the tower's happening right now to clear the space for them to be welcomed. So that's what's coming in. All right, take a quick sip here. All right. And then JJJ, you are up next. So what is Spirit's message for you here? All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. What we do see here. So you've got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So this shows the divine masculine, divine feminine, in connection to the spirit world. The both of them have that Wands energy, and I feel like there is this movement. I just feel like it's like this kind of love update because you have the Eight of Cups. And I feel like they're saying here that both of you are letting go of emotions that no longer serve you, of people that no longer serve you, that's allowing you to move towards the Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment, like the star card, right? Wishing upon a star. And I feel like you're both making this progress here and going forward, and that there is this divine counterpart, Queen and King, both of the same suit, does show this beautiful energy of coming togetherness and to trust the timing of it all. That the Eight of Cups, I just feel like these are stepping stones that, each of you has to step on to get to a certain point and to trust the timing, trust process, because it'll always arrive perfectly on time, right? And both of you, I feel like it's just they're both of saying that both of you are working on that and you're both making equal progress, almost like this parallel. I think you've gotten that before, parallel life. It feels like that you're not on each other's paths yet, but you're kind of things are unfolding in tandem with each other, just equal, 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 and to trust that that's happening and that it is unfolding. And so not to worry, just kind of trust the process, continue on that inward and upward growth that you're doing, because that's what they're doing too. So that's what they have for you right now, JJJ. So many blessings to you. And then up next, we have Kritika Malhotra. Hello, hello. So you want to know about your ex's feelings or intentions towards you, and you feel he wants to start over or something, but you don't want to. That's great because you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Just say no. Let's take a look here and see what their feelings and intentions are towards you. Well, I kind of feel like they're on their own kind of little adventure here. We've got the Three of Pentacles, which is about being true to their authentic selves, and the King of Pentacles, which is this feeling of abundance. And also, the King learns a lot about the Ace of Pentacles, which is finding their worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And I feel like maybe what you're picking up is this energy of like this reflection, because I feel like they're thinking about you, but not to get back together with you. I feel like they're looking at who they are, what they've done. And so when their feelings towards you are, there's always a place in our heart for everyone that we've loved, right? Even with the bad and the good memories and whatever stories we're putting to it, there's always this love that's stored in our heart in a special chamber with locks, right? So they're in there and you're in their heart, but it's not like an active where we have a table set for two in our heart, but that table is empty, that chair's empty and not reserved for anyone. Likewise, I feel like on both of your sides. And so I don't feel like they're wanting to get back together. I think they're just reflecting on what they learned about themselves and that type of thing. I don't feel like they're going, I wonder what you're doing. I wonder how you are. And I feel like that's them. I feel like they're, thinking about you going, I remember when this happened in this up. So how did that make me feel? What did I do? What was my part in this situation? And I feel like they're doing more of that than they are, um, having intentions of wanting to get back together. I just feel like they're really doing some self evaluation with all those cards. So that's what's coming in right now, Kritika. I think you're safe. All right. So many blessings to you. And then Divine Feminine Chronicles, you're up next. You wanted a love reading. Let's take a look here. The spirit wants you to know about love, love, love. All right. Well, you do have the Seven of Wands, which is like standing your ground and not being afraid to be seen. It's also you don't dim your light for anyone, and I like this because I feel like there's this. I don't want to say it's a tendency, just past experiences where you felt you had to dim your light because other people would get intimidated or think you were too much or high maintenance, which I'm like, I might be high maintenance, but I'm worth it. Boom, bam, bam. This is the Seven of Wands, standing true to yourself because you do have, here's the sun, here's you rising here. And the Two of Wands does say whatever you focus on grows and expands regarding love. And I feel like it's an important to know that what you do concentrate your energy on is what expands. So if we focus on what we feel is missing in our life, we tell the universe, I enjoy missing things. Can I miss more? So if you're missing having love in your life and you focus on that, we're telling the universe kind of opposite of what we're really wanting, which is um, focusing on gratitude for the love we have had in our life, the things we enjoyed about love in our life, and just gratitude for what we have in our life. Because then we're telling the universe, I am, um, I really enjoy being grateful for things. So if you can bring me more things to be grateful for, things that I enjoy, that just is this energy and this focus that comes in. Because you do have the star card, which I feel also is being aware of what is it that you really want with this energy coming in here. Because, um, with all the star, this wishing upon a star, it can be a wish come true type of thing. But it's like when you're walking along a beach and you find a little a little genie bottle, a little genie lamp. It's a mini genie, not a big genie. It's a mini genie. And you have one wish to make. It's like, well, what would I wish for? And so there is this kind of nudge and this draw to focus on what you truly would want, not what you've been told you're supposed to want, but what you truly want. Who do you truly want to be, and who would you want to draw into your life? And I feel like there's this opportunity now to really clarify that. And because whatever you focus on is what you draw in. And if we continue to focus on what we've always done and did, we get what we always got. And it's like, meh, is that really what I want? What do I really truly want? And I feel like there's this clarity coming in for you. And just be aware that you get to draw in what you are focusing on with that energy. You don't have to focus on gratitude for a specific person. Kind of focus on gratitude for characteristics that you loved, that made your heart feel full and overflowing, and ask for more of that. Show gratitude for that, not the whole person. You don't have to do that. You're like, I don't want a carbon copy of something. I really love this about this person, this about myself, and have gratitude for all that, and it'll change things. And I feel like that's the focus for right now. All right, Divine Feminine, that's for you. Many blessings. And then Andrea, 54, Hector. So you want to know, what is your Leo boyfriend hiding from you? You're in Aries. Nothing right now. Super full moon Aries. You can shine light on them, and how they used to interrogate, right? The big bright light in their face. What are you hiding? No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Let's take a look here and see. What does Spirit want you to know here? Sorry, let me just reshuffle these here. Cards flying out everywhere. All right. Well, I don't know. Here we got the Five of Swords, which is kind of, there's this conflicting thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are coming in here. And if there's arguments happening in the outside world, then, realize that there's this difference in expectations and thoughts and beliefs and mindsets of the shoulds as opposed to the need to. And rather than kind of trying to fight to be right, because the Two of Wands is whatever energy we focus on is what's expanding and growing within the relationship between you two. And I really feel like what they're hiding from you here is that they're concerned about where this arguing and this differencing of opinion, how it can impact you guys. And I feel like they're at a fork in the road with their energy, trying to decide what they want to do, because it's getting to a point where it just can't stay the way that it's been going here. I feel like there's this it makes sense here with this fiery energy with both being a Leo and an Aries, right? You've got this fiery energy, and there's a difference between winning a battle and losing the war. And it's almost like picking your battles is important. And the more we look at looking and connecting to our higher self and the truths, the capital T truths of the higher realm, we cut away our fears. We start, not getting defensive or attacking, because that's what happens when we go into fight or flight mode. And if both of us are in fear, that's why we have these battles with each other, right? And it's like understanding and taking time to step away from being right, and understanding what if your triggers are rooted in fear of something. And the more you release yourself from your fears, the less challenging you are, the less fighting that you have. the battling to, to prove that my small t truths of opinion are more truer than your small t truths of opinion. And you start being able to look past all that and start appreciating each other more. So I feel like what they're hiding is I don't feel like they're, you know, hiding anything like another person or anything like those, things. I feel like they're just more focusing in on, we argue so much, and is it getting to the point where it can't stay this way? Something's got to change, or we need to separate. I feel like it's escalating, right? But I feel like that's what they're feeling like, where they feel like it's just getting too conflicting, too um, and that's might be what you feel is they have one eye on the door because they haven't decided. They're just like, things need to change, or we need to, go different ways. And the reason there's conflict is because there's fears inside, and you both are stubborn that you want things to be a certain way, and it's got to be this way. This is the way it is. And they're like, but it's not. This is the way I was raised. And you're like, too bad. You got to do what I want you to do. Well, that's not going to work with anyone, right? And I feel like there's stubbornness on both sides is pushing and pulling instead of putting joining together. It's like you're struggling and doing a tug of war instead. So I feel like that's what you need to know and what they'd like you to know. And that's what they're hiding. They're afraid to tell you about it because fire. They just don't want another fight, right? So that's what's coming in, Andrea. So hang in there. Many blessings to you. All right. And then Kevin, and hello, Kevin. I'm doing well. I hope you are well. And you want to know, what advice do your spirit guides have about your situation with Akshat? Should you take action? So there's no should in the heavenly realms. There's, just actions. So we'll see here what is for your greatest benefit, right? So let's see what their advice is, right? And then what should you, well, is it for your highest experience to take action? All right. So you got the Page of Pentacles, and so they um the advice they have here is Page of Pentacles, which is look for new opportunities, take new opportunities between the two of you, but it's like taking it to a new level here because you've got the High Priestess, which the High Priestess is about the tower, things being removed out of the way, and the High Priestess is about the unknown, the hidden, trusting your gut, trusting your instincts. And I feel like it's like, yes, to take action, but there's something that's being removed out of your life or their life because there's a significant event that's happening that changes things. And trust your gut and your intuition. Go, oh, this is the sign. It's like if you've ever watched those movies where um people like, I'll give you a signal, and they're like, what's the signal? You'll know it when you see it. That's kind of what they're saying. You'll know it when you see it, that there's this significant change, and then that's when you take action. That's when, with this Page of Pentacles, you take new opportunities for it. But there's something moving out of your life or their life that is the signal to go, okay, this is the time, because it's clearing the pathway of some obstacles that will make it easier. It's almost like a retrograde where, with the tides, when the tide's coming in, trying to launch a boat, you just capsize. It's so much work for no effort. I'm sorry, a lot of effort with no result, hardly any good results, because you have to work against the tide. But when the tide's going out, you just jump on your ship and it just easy breezy. Well, that's what's kind of coming forward here. I feel like they're just saying, just wait this much and you're going to get the signal, and then you'll know it, and internally, and you'll be like, all right, here we go. So funny, that's what's coming in for you, Kevin. So hopefully that makes sense to you, right? And many blessings to you. All right. So, great courts, you are up next. So, you tried to set boundaries but failed. What would spirit like to tell you about this? um, there is no failure, there's just learning and growth. Ah, grasshopper. There is no failure. I like that. There is no failure. It's like I think it was Thomas Edison. Someone said to them, "You failed 999 times." And they're like, "No, I had 999 times that I was successful in finding how something didn't work. So on the thousandth time is when I found it, the one that did." And so it's all about their perspective of it. So that's what I feel is coming in is like, don't look at it as a failure. Look at what did you learn through it, and what do you think you'll do different next time? Because, there is this, yeah, you got the power of emotional choice coming in with the Lover's card, and then the Page of Pentacles, which is about seeing things and doing things differently, and new opportunities are coming forward for boundaries, because that's what we're talking about here. And that you get to choose. You have this emotional choice. And, when we try to set boundaries and we feel we fail at them, it's because we like draw a line in the sand and we're saying, "Don't you dare step over that." And then someone sticks their toe over it. And we're like, or what are we afraid of? Fear is what keeps us from maintaining our boundaries. Because if we're not that you would ever hit anyone, but if you're all pop in the nose, they'd be like, "Oh, you really do mean this boundary, right?" But it's not about being mean or aggressive. It's about being firm, right? And being able to say no. And that's our biggest, one of the biggest ahas in our life is the power of no. I tell you what, it's a tough one because what are we taught when we are young? Do we say no to our parents? Not if we don't want punishment, right? So we're taught to obey, never to say no to people that we care about because we wanted our parents' love. So, and we told them no, we got smacked or spanked or punished or stood in the corner, depending on what decade you grew up in. And there's this wonderful learning from that, that when we get older as adults, we don't feel like we can say no, and but eventually we learn to stand up and we can start internally. This is how I learned my power of no. They're reminding me. I started saying no in my head and still did it on the outside world, and even when I was by myself I started saying no. And it's like when we start to get used to saying no in our brain and with our mouth, then we can do it. We don't have to say it like a 2-year-old doesn't and say no. We can say, "No, thank you." And no is a complete sentence, right? But because we care about people, and in the beginning, it's totally cool to have excuses, even if you need to lie in the beginning. It's baby steps, right? No, I don't feel good when you feel totally fine. But maybe you can always, um, kind of explain that away inside by going, "Well, I don't feel good on the inside because I don't want to do this." So technically, I'm not lying. But it's about making yourself feel comfortable with saying no. And then eventually you'll get and then start with small things, um, someone offering you something to drink. "Oh, no, no, thank you. I'm good." It's like, okay, I said no. Even though I wanted to say yes, I said no. And you can start saying no to things and start building upon it. And that's how you build it. Going from 0 to 100 gives you whiplash. And so build into, um, boundaries and saying no with things. Start with little stuff, and work your way up to bigger stuff. Is a good way to have a solid foundation in boundaries. But again, if you do go from 0 to nothing, it falls over easy. But when you build up a foundation, all of that backs up the solidity of the big boundaries, right? So that's what's coming in for you, great courts. Hopefully that helps. Many blessings to you. And then up next, we have Shloka Sancher. Hello, hello. And you want to know, is the Taurus over their ex? Or are there any residual feelings? All right, let's take a look here. Whenever we have love, we're always going to have them in our hearts somewhere. Whether we act on it or not is the true right thing that we really want to know. Um, yeah, two of wands, yeah, two of wands, two of swords. So they still do residual attraction, residual thoughts. No love. The cups isn't here, but it does show here that we always have feelings in our heart, um, deep in our heart sometimes for people that we had love with because our heart bonded and everyone has a room in their heart that they put all the emotional bodies after there's emotional death, right? We put them in there and it's like a little it's funny they never bring it this way. You must you must like horror movies or something because it's like a little morgue. You put them in the bodies in the little drawers and you can shut them and they don't get out, and so they're always there. The residual feelings are there, but it doesn't mean that we're in love or that we want to take action on it and all that. There's just something there, and it's just natural. We still, the heart wants what it wants, and it wanted what it wanted, and it's like, okay, just because we, the chocolate ice cream upset our stomach, um, doesn't mean that we won't, we still like, I remember chocolate ice cream and I liked it, but I know that it upsets my stomach. I'm not gonna eat it anymore. But it was so good when for what it was, but I'm not going to eat it again. So just know that they don't have this um, overall desire or anything to be with them. There's that residual leftovers, but they don't have this desire to like. They are over their ex, um, and but there's leftover. It's like the ghost is there, but it's not anything concrete because it's a ghost, right? So nothing to worry about. No you know alarms going off anywhere. So that's what they have for you, Shloka. So many blessings to you. And then Anya Ahuya, you were up next. Another Taurus. So has the Taurus ever looked on your social media accounts in the last year? I always wonder when I see like a lot of this Leos and Taurians and people ask for, I'm like, wouldn't it be weird if it was the same person? I know it's not, but wouldn't that be just weird? All right, let's take a look here. Have they ever looked on your social accounts this last year? With these here, I don't have any swords, which is social media. I got the nine of pentacles, which is they're more to themselves and independent. And the six of wands feels like they're in this, they're um well, it just feels like there's this mutual attraction, but I also feel like there's this flowing. I almost, it's like they constantly, their passions are constantly changing is what I'm getting from this. They're very independent and they don't get attached. They just hop, 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 hop. It's just all over the place. So I don't feel like maybe they've looked at it, but I don't feel like they're like watching it intently. I just feel like they are looking at a bunch of things and they're involved in a lot of stuff. I just feel like again, their passions just feel like they're everywhere. Both passions for people, passions for life, passions for, things. It's like it's just all over the place. So I kind of feel like there's this nudge from spirit of going, like Casanova, don't put a lot of desire in connecting with them because and don't expect a lot from it if you do, because they're like you won't ever have them. They're constantly on the move, constantly changing their directions and their interests. So I kind of feel like your guides are going, next, please. But that's what's coming in for you, Anya. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. And then Ashvin, right? You are up next. You want to know Simran's next actions towards you. Let's take a look here. All right. Well, it looks like they're here. They're kind of undecided. With the Two of Swords, they're kind of like at a fork in the road. On one side, they've got this Nine of Wands where they kind of feel this block, like there's some stuff that's holding them backward. And I don't know if there's this energy that they're feeling of, um, like something's not letting them move forward towards you. We'll talk about that in a sec here, because you do have here the Knight of Cups, which is to move on their emotions and express them towards you. But this nine, you have the nine and the knight. That's funny. Nine of Wands is this energetic block, and it can be both of you, from both of you, both your inner child keeping things from you, and their inner child keeping them from moving outside of it. And where that goes back to, if you've checked out my Take 10 with Zen videos, episodes 4 and 5, I believe it's 5, that talks about the Six of Pentacles. And when you look at that, it does talk about our inner child, right? And there's these belief systems that are out of balance, that our little inner child is at the control panel of our force fields. And if it feels we haven't done enough to deserve very little, which is a mentality or a belief system that it has down in the subconscious, it will keep things away from us and keep us from going outside. And that's what I feel both of you have kind of this going on, where their next actions are kind of limited. It's almost like they want to, but something's holding them back subconsciously, both their subconscious not being allowing them to move forward, but your subconscious also. So it's like almost like there's this double force field that's keeping both of you in and keeping you both of you out as well. So if you take a look at that, it does talk about something you can do on your side to open up and lower your side of the forest fields. And if it's meant to be, they're working on theirs too, to allow that to lower, to allow you comes together. But I feel like their next actions right here are very limited. They want to do this, but this force field is keeping things up. So um, it's worth taking a look at, because it's going to keep everyone else out too. So if on your side you lower it, then if they don't lower theirs, at least someone else that does have theirs lower can come into your life. And you're like, oh, look, love or abundance or job or whatever, these things that are being kept out. So that's what's coming in for you, Ashvin. So hopefully that resonates, and many blessings to you. And then Scorpio 1180, you are up. Hi. So can we tell you uh, the Gemini Robert's current feelings and next actions? Let's take a look here and see. Well, their current feelings here, they've got this hermit energy going on here. Whoops. So and actually I feel the King of Wands is like their current feelings, and this is their next actions, because the King of Wands is this energy of passion and excitement and, very fiery adventure. So this definite attraction that's there, but the kings are very able to control their passions. And we have the Hermit's card here with next actions. They just feel very internal and very to themselves here, and so they've got this journey that they're on here, this inner journey. And I just feel like their next actions are going to be a while, because they do have this physical attraction, this energetic attraction, but they're also on this inner journey trying to understand themselves. I feel like they're kind of introverted too. And so it takes some time to act forward. I almost feel like if you have feelings for them, that, you're gonna have to make the first move, you know, reaching out, and that activates them to go, "Okay, wait a minute, the King of Wands, takes precedent over the Hermit then." And maybe they'll invite you into their hermit's cave. But I feel like the big thing is that they really are really quite introverted and they're very internal, but they've got this passion. But again, they have this great amount of self control with that as well. So, Scorpio, 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 what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, gonna send some flame over into there to activate it, but I feel like you definitely would need to be the one that initiates things in order for anything to go forward. So, what are you going to do? So, that's what's happening right now, Scorpio. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. Right. And Bonita, you are up next. You want a general love here. So, let's take a look and see what they want you to know. All right. Well, you got the moon energy coming in here. And I feel like with this page of swords, whoa, dropping things. The page of swords here, this is about new ways of thinking, looking at, love in a different way, cutting away the thoughts and the beliefs and the mindsets that no longer serve. I kind of feel like love is on kind of a temporary hold because the moon card is having you dive deep into the emotions. What's below the surface? What's bubbling below? Because there's these thoughts and these beliefs that are of fears that come from some of this hidden and unknown stuff that's kind of bubbling below the surface that it's kind of like that when we do what we've always done, we get what we've always gotten. Well, the same thing as when we have certain thoughts that we have and beliefs, we have really no other way to act out on it, while we have it until we change our mind. It's when we believe something, we act a certain way. We change our belief, we act differently. If we don't, we keep acting the same way and keep getting what we're getting. So there's some bubbling below the surface emotions that created these thoughts and beliefs out of fear, and they've been kind of on autopilot and playing. And I feel like they're saying it's time for you to look at that so that you can be free from it. So that's what's coming in for you, Benita. Yay! But it's great because then you're going to do things that you haven't done before and get relationships you haven't had before, something more in alignment with your heart. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting. So it's worth it. It's worth it. All right. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we are to Cambria. Hello, hello. So, will you have the finances to go to Atlanta and enjoy your birthday weekend? It's next weekend. Well, happy early birthday to you. So, you have nothing right now. So, let's take a look here. Are you going to be able to go to Atlanta? Are you going to get some mighty birthday cash? Let's take a look here. Well, you got the strength card, which has to do with you connecting with your higher self and kind of seeing that the outside world isn't all it's cracked up to be. We find our fullness with this Ace of Cups, this self love. And the King of Cups is balancing heart and mind. I don't feel like you're going to be able to go that next weekend for it, but I feel like you have it's like you make this choice that I'm going to enjoy my birthday weekend no matter where I am in the physical world, because wherever I go, I am, and I am a blast. I'm happy. So wherever I'm at, I'm going to enjoy my happy birthday. And I feel like you'll be able to um enjoy locally where you're at your birthday. And surprisingly, it's like in a surprising way, it gives you good balance, and but it does bring a different opportunity in the future for you to kind of celebrate, um, because it is your birthday month. That's the whole thing, right? Is you don't have to celebrate just a day or two. It's the month. I actually celebrate all year long for my birthday. It's my birthday year. Oh, look, it's my birthday year again. So it's all about attitude and choice. And I feel like you may not be able to go when your human wants to go, but there's great connection that you gain this weekend. And I do feel like you get to go celebrate your birthday in Atlanta, just not next weekend. So that's what's coming in for you, Cambria. So hang in there and happy birthday again. Um, if you haven't checked out the pick a card, the last pick a card, is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this week's. I think it was this week's. There's actually a special pick a card for the birthday babies. Actually, yeah, yeah, because your birthday is right now, and so yeah, it's for all Libras, right? Yeah, so it's for all Libra sun babies. So check it out. There's a 3-month forecast in there. Sorry, I had to think of where we're at in timing, and because I record ahead of time, and it definitely was. If it wasn't this week, it was last week's. Because I think it was last week's. I think this week's was about this Aries full moon this morning. Last week's is when we went into Libra season, so it's last week's, last Wednesday. So check it out. Happy birthday. All right, and then Spiritual Journey Tarot, you are up next. Hello, hello. And you want to know what's coming towards you in fall, going into winter. All right. So let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know? All right. All right. So you do have the Hermit card. So you've been on this inner journey and you're being guided by Spirit here, taking you to this 10 of Cups. So I like this. I feel like there is this, energy of that you've been turning inward and upward, which is where you find this beautiful, beautiful love from above, right? And you have the 6 of Wands too. And I feel like you've been, it's like this is the Ace of Cups and it's filling up and it's overflowing, and you're feeling like you're filling up from the inside out, and there's this victory feeling with the 6 of Wands. But there's also this energy that comes in with that from Spirit saying, you know what, you are seen. And though you may not feel seen sometimes by the outside world, that but you are seen by the spirit world. We're with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're never, never, never not by your side. We're always by your side. And they've seen what you've done. And it's not like I saw you what you did last summer. It's not like that. They've seen everything that you've done and all the work you put in and all the energy. And though you don't get a lot of validation and praise from the outside world, not a lot of people notice things, which most people are focused on themselves, so they miss totally a lot of what you do. Just realize that it's seen. And as um you've been putting forth this effort, and it's not going for naught. It's not just falling by the wayside, but all the seeds that you've been planting have been growing, and that there's this harvest. It's might feel like a late harvest because it's like coming into fall, going into winter, but it's like they're showing me my dad lives in Hawaii, and they're like, look, in the middle of winter, look, we got new bananas. It's like tropical island is what they're showing you. That you are like living on this tropical island and you have all this beautiful energy that's coming in. And it's like because of what you've been doing, you do have like this upgrade that's on its way that does help you um, on your path, and it does feel very rewarding. So they just want you to know that, and that's what's headed towards you in fall and going into winter is this beautiful energy, this beautiful upgrade, and they just keep getting lifted up higher and higher and higher as well. So that is what is coming in for you there. So many blessings to you. That's what they have right now for you. Just a little tidbit. All right. And then up next, we've got Berenice Ramirez. So hello, hello. You want to know, is your partner staying in the same job? that he's on right now to the end of the year and starting the year over here in Corpus is from September. See us still here. All right. So, all right. So let's take a look here and see. Are they going to be where you're at or over there? Starting there. Well, we've got both the Seven of Wands, which is standing their ground, and the Hermit card, which is, being to themselves here, right? Um, and so this feels like standing their ground and staying where they're at right now. I don't feel like they're starting over somewhere different. This feels very home in their cave, and this feels very much standing their ground, staying in the ground where they're at now. So, with a combination of those two together, I don't feel like there's this movement to somewhere else. It almost feels like it's just staying in its regular whatever's happening now is what continues um, at the beginning of next year. Um, so wherever they're at, I feel is where they continue to be at the beginning of the year is what I feel with that. So there you go, Bernice. That's what they have for you right now. And then Nidhi Sarvaya. Hello, hello. So general reading. Yeah. Hello, hello. Just like I did. That is so funny. You know me so well, Needy. So good. Thank you so much. You're so kind. So let's take a look here. General reading. Let's see what we got coming in here. All right. So you do have this here. The Three of Pentacles is about you being true to your authentic self, the true you. You've got the Judgment card here. The Judgment card is usually it's your higher self calling you to this higher place, and it's giving you a different viewpoint here. And I feel like what they're saying here is you're in this kind of nudge and this draw from spirit to see yourself from a different perspective and to really connect with your heart to go, what is it that I truly want? Who is it that I truly want to be? And there's this kind of aha of realizing that though you've done really well with not being drawn off your path by people saying, meh, meh, the complainers and the people you're afraid will punish you, right? There's the for not doing what they want you to do and living the life that they think you should live. It's more the awareness that's coming in is the people that you kind of veer off because you're afraid to lose their support. It's like the naysayers are going to be the naysayers, right? But you are realizing some people that you're trying to please because you enjoy their praise, and you're like, you know what? It's becoming less and less comfortable for you to choose their praise over being the true, 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 authentic you. And I feel like there is this opening and this, um, blossoming of who you are and what you want to do. And I feel like you're ready to let go of that. And this is where you're headed, something more true to your authentic self. So I like that for you, Needy. And that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. We just have a couple left here. And infinity is one. Hello, hello. And so you want to know, will you and you see each other again before the end of the year? Let's take a look here. I do feel like here, with this Eight of Pentacles, there is this work that's being done here that is having things move in the outside world. And the Ten of Cups does represent this emotional fulfillment and overflowing. It's positive cards here. So if you see it as a positive thing, then yes, because this is things moving forward and making you feel this fullness and happiness. So if that is the case, then that is what is coming here, is that you do get to see each other again, and because you feel full and overflowing coming in here. Things are not going to be the same though with this Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you're going to realize that you have changed a lot and the Leo hasn't. I feel like, we always talk about the two caterpillars, and one goes, "I'm gonna jump," like, we both agree, "I'm gonna go into this cocoon and transform into butterflies, and then we're gonna go places." Like, "Yeah!" And then so you jump into your cocoon, and you go through all the struggle and the self-transformation, and you struggle to get out of the cocoon, you get out of the cocoon, and while your wings are drying off, you look over and you see this caterpillar still eating leaves, and they're huge, and you're like, so why aren't you a butterfly?" And they're like, "Oh, I just kind of put it off. Maybe next spring I'll transform into a butterfly. I just saw all these leaves and I thought, I'm really enjoying these leaves. I'm just going to stay here." And you're like, "Well, I, I can't unbecome a butterfly, and I'm not going to walk because I've got wings to fly now." Um, uh, and so, in fact, I have this emoji, which I don't have a chat going, so I can't do it, but there's a little butterfly, um, carrying a giant caterpillar, and it's like, you never see that in nature because butterflies go do butterfly things and caterpillars go do caterpillar things. And I feel like you'll see them, but you're realizing you've changed, you've transformed, and you're like, oh, you know, that happened. I mean, I was really attracted to someone once, and they got in a relationship, and then I got in my own relationship, and then happened, a year or so later, we both were single, and I went to see them, but it was gone. It wasn't there anymore. And it's like, oh, oh well, oh well, there it went. And it's okay. You're like, I'm gonna go do butterfly things, and you can let them go do caterpillar things. It'll be a good awareness, but you do see them, but it's just not going to be the same because you've changed in a positive way. You've transformed. So that's what's coming in Infinity. So many blessings to you. And then lastly, and I apologize if I did miss anyone, I tried to look through the chat carefully and hopefully capture everyone. So apologies if I missed anyone. I will be online in an hour for my evening session. So if I missed you, come back and I'll be there. In fact, as soon as I finish here, I'll be putting out a post and reserving the live. So you'll be able to jump in and post your questions early if you want that too. So that'll be coming out here momentarily. So Delcy Joy, you are up. You're the final reading for this session. And you said lately you've been feeling you should restart your massage practice, but this time working with infants, and children up to age 5. Oh, due to physical injuries, working adults may aggravate. Oh, I go, or may aggravate. I thought you were going to say may aggravate me. um, it can. I understand here too. So you're wondering if that's something to do here. Well, I like it. I feel here, with the Emperor, it's you standing up in Aries energy, which we have a huge Aries supermoon. You get to choose and decide for you. Don't let fear stand in your way, though, with this Five of Swords. I almost feel like you can do both, because the fears, if you hold it back, is like working on adults may aggravate injuries. Working on anyone can aggravate injuries, right? Regardless of age, because children, and you could injure children if you do it wrong, right? And so, fear, 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 fear. Don't let fear stop you. I actually feel here with the Emperor, it's like, you hear a lot of advice, a lot of stuff coming in from everyone, all the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos and this internal mental conflict that happens. But the Emperor, with that Ace of Swords, stands up and goes, you know what? I'm going to choose. What do I want to do? I want to work primarily with children and infants, but I'll throw some adults in there because they make the money too, right? And you're able to choose who you want to, work on and who you don't. And um, And I like this. It's very supported here with the emperor because it's new beginnings. It's the emperor choosing to step up and put form around what they're wanting, right? Deciding, okay, everyone has all these opinions they have about what I'm supposed to do and should not do and blah, blah, blah. But what do I want? Because I'm the one that has to live it. It's like going to a restaurant with a bunch of people at a table and they're all telling you what you should eat and order off the menu, but you got to eat it. What business is it of theirs? Thank you for all your suggestions, but I'm going to eat it. So I'm going to order this. It's your life. You get to live it. So choose what you want. And that emperor says, there's no wrong choice. You get to choose what you want to do with that. I see you doing both. And sometimes it's more infants and sometimes it's more adults, and it depends on what your energies are wanting and who you are to help, who you're going to be of service to. um so you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but you also don't have to limit yourself, is what I feel. So that's what's coming in for you, Delcy. So many, many blessings to you. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate your patience in getting to these free readings. I do get a lot of donations usually in the mornings. And that's what helps me be able to continue to do this. Otherwise, I'd be working a full time job somewhere and I'd be exhausted and I wouldn't be offering hardly anything at all. But because of donations, I greatly appreciate them. I'm able to continue to do this. So, thank you, all of you who made donations. Thank you for everyone who gives a thumbs up, something free you can do that helps spread the Zen love. And I will be back in less than an hour. So I'll see you when I see you. And just know each and every second of every day of your lives that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, have a good rest of your night or day, wherever you're out in the world. And we'll see you soon. Until then, much love to you. You hang in there and you guys take care. We'll see you.